I have a question about just as it relates to the interior design world. I find, but I love always finding the exceptions, and they exist, that like just the discussion of personal style and flair. So I feel like a person can come in or you go to their house and typically what their house reflects might also reflect how they present individually or how they dress, what they wear, those kinds of things. Like someone really minimal in their design or tonal also might dress that way. And then vice versa. Someone who's a maximalist might be dressed crazy with lots of color and pattern like I typically have on, but just not today. Do you find that? It's almost like
I do.
Is that sociological study? No, I don't know. A human anthropological study?
I will say I love it when clients use or aren't afraid of color, and especially use art as the color to express themselves and their journey and their story as collectors. So, I mean, I'm happy that kind of the general trend right now, and I know maximalist is like kind of coming in, but the general trend has been very neutral interiors, you know, kind of beiges, whites, creams. Especially in Newport, we see a lot of blues and greens.
Right, nautical.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I love it when clients like bring in like a pop of pink or a pop of yellow. One of my artists that I work a lot with, Amy Van Winkle, she's an encaustic artist.
Okay.
When we first started working together, I said, okay, send me all the blues and the greens. And she said, Victoria, I'm going to send you some blues and greens, but I'm also going to send you an orange piece. And I said, I don't know, orange.
I know, you're like, ooh, that's
bright.
a risk.
And sure enough, that was the first piece that sold when I
That's
started
amazing.
working with her. Yeah. So
well, and
people do want that.
even what you do, and especially with your education, so much of it is like color wheel. So I find it
you're right.
fun, and I love it when people trust you and say like, okay, this is kind of a stretch for me. I don't know if I can live with an orange painting in my house. But when I can explain to them like, okay, this is a complementary color. Like you have all these cool colors. You need something warm to offset it. Like yellows, oranges, something. It just, even if somebody can't articulate why they like a room, I feel like there's probably a balance of both in there, even if it's just in the tiniest way.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's why we're fortunate to have interior designers like you, because like you said, not all interior designers are advocating for fine art. Sometimes they just, you know, they rest on a print that they found or they can easily produce because it's going to fit within a general color scheme.
Right.
But I think encouraging clients to build up a budget for art and select art when they're selecting furniture is a great way of like committing to that purchase. And
to think of the long term too, because it is a big, it can be, it doesn't always need to be, but especially if you're looking at a sizable piece, it can be a big ticket item. And that can be scary for people who, those same people who will spend an inordinate, I can't say the word, a huge amount of money, there we go, on cars or a dining table or horses or rugs or trips or something. But we'll say like, I'm not spending X on a painting.